Thank you very much for the kind introduction. I haven't prepared a long speech at all. I'm afraid I've been working on the digital single market package, which is due to come out in a few weeks. So we've been kind of working night and day on that, and I'm sure you don't want me to bore you with the details of it now. So I'll just talk about some general points. I was reading. I think you're all perhaps. I don't know whether you've had sight of the questions that were put under my nose this afternoon to have a look at. But just by way of introduction, I don't think we can quite comprehend the pace of change that's really happened in the few years, certainly that I've been here in Brussels, in terms of this massive data revolution, the all-pervasive nature of the internet. I mean, it seems to me very hard now to find any area that's not affected by the internet, any area where your activity is not conducted on or via the internet. Clearly, this has much to do with the progress in the microprocessing power, in the power of chips. We got Moore's law wrong. We thought that microchips doubled their power every 2 years. This was wrong. They double their power every 18 months. This can potentially go on exponentially until there's a technological need for a paradigm shift. So this has very much been this basso continuo of progress underlying this internet revolution. I think when we think about the change, I don't know the last time you went to buy a ticket, a plane ticket from a travel agency, or when you last consulted your bank account just by going to the bank. We do all this via our smartphones. We all do this via our handheld devices. These changes are phenomenal, and as I said, they change everything. So when I read the question, competition, or the title, competition, openness, and neutrality along the digital value chain, I understand the digital value chain to be almost our entire daily lives that somehow interact with the internet. So when we talk about neutrality along the digital value chain, when you are sitting in your Uber ordered taxi, you're actually along the digital value chain. So if we accept that internet is all pervasive, going from the very infrastructure right down to the service delivered to the customer, and we're not talking merely about voice calls of yesteryear, but the fact that we as a consumer are sitting in an internet ordered Uber vehicle or an Uber vehicle, we're actually in that value chain. So I wonder, the bigger questions, and they're going to keep growing, is ensuring competition, openness, and neutrality. And I wonder, how will you ensure neutrality right down the digital value chain if you accept that the digital value chain embraces all areas of our life? So that comes to your first question: do regulations need to be updated to reflect the realities of the digital economy? Well, you might have your answer there. The digital economy the changes are so convulsive, they're so disruptive, that perhaps we need to do some major rethinking, even if this doesn't mean creating a brand new set of rules. And the question comes, of course, does this mean more regulation? I hope not. Being a good European bureaucrat, my natural default setting is laziness, so I hope that doesn't mean more work for me. But what it shouldn't mean is a policy of regulate our enemy. Just because there's a competitor out there who may offer a cheaper or more efficient service, we shouldn't regulate it out of existence. I don't know how many times a day I hear the question, why do we not have a European Google? Well, maybe we've got our regulatory environment not perhaps correct. Maybe the European Googles who were growing have been snuffed out of existence. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting, your question here. Are current policies and implementing mechanisms available for European Commission authorities sufficient to preserve consumer welfare, enhancing competition and market entry? I think when you look at the digital value chain now, and one way you accept that if not everything is on a platform today, it certainly will be tomorrow. Again, you've got to appreciate the multi-layered aspects of these multi-sided markets. And I'm not sure it's purely about ensuring that we have the right mechanisms to deal with consumer welfare enhancing competition or even market entry. What about those players that have to be on the platform? They don't want to be a platform, but if they're not on that platform, then they don't exist. You may think of your example of your agriturismo in Italy. It probably doesn't want to become booking.com, but it needs to be on booking.com or Expedia or another type of platform. Otherwise it won't be found. It may not exist. So I think we also have to look at the mechanisms that are suitable for this very, very complex area of the very wider internet chain, which I think I'm coming from a different angle, from perhaps a more sort of telecom centric view. Maybe not. And I was just thinking, and going back to my opening point about the fast-moving world and the pace of change. I mean, a lot of this you've got here about competition, openness, neutrality. But when you think about the rules of competition law that were made a long, long time ago, and the very principles when you talk about competition, potential competition, substitutability, supply-side substitutability. When I was a very long time ago studying competition law, potential competition and supply-side substitutability were always distinguished by time. As technology has progressed, that time element when you're a potential competitor, when actually you can offer the competing substitutable service, this has become shortened and shortened and shortened. But now in the internet age and the pace of technological change, that switch from a potential competitor to a supplier of a substitutable service or network might be just one algorithm, and that algorithm might be an 80% artificial intelligence powered algorithm. So that is perhaps a bit of a backdrop to our thinking about how we might deal with this phenomenal pace of change, not only in the rules and the infrastructures, but the further ramifications about how we lead our lives. And as we had a talk, as I was speaking with various people today, both internally and externally from the Commission, what is absolutely crucial for us is not to regulate our way out of a very innovation-friendly world as well. So those are just my opening remarks. I hope they've given you some general ideas, and I've gladly spared you the details of this boring DSM package. Thank you.